Welcome everybody. This is going to be my Archery Elk Gear dump for the hunt that I'm going on this afternoon. So first, starting out with my pack, I am using a Mystery Ranch Beartooth 80. Actually had to borrow the bag from a friend because I just have a sawtooth. But it's for a 5-day hunt that we're going on 8 miles back at least. Yeah, the sawtooth ain't gonna do it. So my buddy Sean was gracious enough to let me borrow his pack. I've used it before for my bear hunt this past spring, and it worked great. Hopefully it's gonna fit all this stuff that we're gonna need. He's got this big forager pocket on this side, and then I've got the smaller one on this left side that I use to keep this is the Garmin Spot geolocator, and I'll keep a lighter and stuff in there too. In this other forager pocket, I keep an extra reservoir, like a platypus 2-liter. This one has water in it. So you just roll this thing up, stuff it in there. So if you come across a stream or something, you can fill her up, then purify it as you go. So there's nothing too crazy with the pack. What's nice about these Mystery Ranch Guide Light frames is they're so easy to swap the pack, like the actual bags on them. It took me like 2 minutes to take my sawtooth off and throw this bear tooth back on. So yeah, we'll be loading her up here shortly, and we'll hold all my stuff. Cool. Next, we'll go to my sleep system, how we're going to be running it. So for tent, I've got a Lux Outdoors Hex Peak. It's kind of like a slightly smaller Seek Outside Cimarron, and it all rolls up. It's so similar that I actually use the Seek Outside Cimarron carbon poles. Altogether, this thing weighs like 3 pounds total, and that's with the stakes and the guy lines. So we got 12 stakes that we use to set it out. We're gonna have to set it out, kind of make a base camp, and then we're gonna spike out from there using a tarp and stuff. Parameters for this hunt, it's beginning of September, so today it's gonna be like 100 degrees, and then tomorrow it's gonna be 90, and then the next day it's gonna be high in the 60s, low in the 30s. So there's gonna be a broad spectrum of temperatures and weather that we're expecting. Hopefully it doesn't snow or anything, but you never know. So we got to be prepared for most eventualities. I've had it where it's snowed, blizzard, first day of September before. Or it's like this where it's 100 degrees. It's 9:30 in the morning and it's already 85. This is like where I'm from, Florida. So yeah, but this Lux Hex Peak, it's less expensive than the Seek Outside. I got it a couple years ago, and I've been sleeping in it this whole summertime, and it works really good. Doesn't let water in. We had a big old storm. We slept in it when we were at TAC. So yeah, that's that. For sleeping bag, I've got a Sitka Aerolite 30. This is the one that has like the armholes and the hood and stuff. It's pretty neat. I'll kind of show you here. So how you get in it, you kind of get in it like you're putting on a hoodie. So you just kind of throw it over yourself here. Got an armhole, and it fits you over you like this. Then it has a little tab down here that connects down here between your legs. So when you get up to go to pee in the middle of the night, you don't have to get out of your sleeping bag and lose all that heat. Been using this whole summer. Had some pretty cold weather, pretty high up. And Barklow at Sitka really developed this so it can kind of take place of your puffy jacket. So I'm going to try it on this one and not take a puffy, just take this. And it's got that nice Primaloft. I've been down some cold weather in this thing with just shorts and a t-shirt, and been nice and warm. If you get too cold with your arms out, you just zip yourself back in. It's pretty cool. Makes you look like a dinosaur running around. Also, what I'll bring, so I've gotten the stuff sack, or the sack for the Sitka. I like bringing my old issue poncho liner. This thing is the bee's knees when you're glassing. It gets real big. You can use it as a shelter. You can wrap it around yourself. I'll show a picture now of me and the dog up on top of the mountain, all wrapped up in this thing, glassing. I usually use it and I'll attach it to the outside of my tripod here and wrap it around there, and it kind of makes like a little teepee too. But it's nice and thick, and I've been down in some cold weather in this too, and some training. Yeah, this thing keeps you cool when you're hot and nice and warm when you're cold. So that's why I bring it. It's an extra pound, but it's just so versatile. And if you get really cold, you can use the liner in that Sitka bag, but I haven't had to use that yet. So yeah, it actually kind of smells funny, so I probably need to wash it. Now for sleeping pad, I've got Big Agnes Aircore Ultra, just the regular size pad. Packs down the size of a peanut butter can. It's about a pound or so, a little over, pound and a half. A little heavy for most people, but I got a good deal on it. I think I got it at REI on a sale. So I was like, well, shoot, for that price, can't beat it. And it's really tough. I've swept on some really, really rough ground without a sheet, and it works really good. So I like it. My feet kind of hang off of it because I'm a little bit taller, but that's okay. I've never had any issues with my bag getting overly soaked, especially with that Sitka Primaloft. So that's what I use for that. Pillow, just use the Arrow ultralight pillow. This thing is awesome. You can blow it up. It's super quick. It takes like 2 or 3 breaths. It weighs like 2 ounces. I got the large one because the small one or the regular size one, just a little too small. But just rolls up. See, 2 breaths. And then you can adjust. It has a little easy deflate to really get the tension that you want, so you can set your head down in it. And this, I'm a side sleeper, and this pad and this pillow work really well together. You can pump it up so you can really fit in the crook of your neck when you're sleeping on your side. So, or you can even turn it. I'm trying to get this hump here. So, yeah, I take this with me glassing because if I go down for a nap, I use it. Clothing wise, what I'll be taking in it, what I'll be wearing. I'll be wearing a hat, just like this one. This one's from my buddy Ryan, Mil-Spec Believer. Give him a follow. He's a great podcast out there. I don't just graphic tee, usually wear it. Something green like this. I wear these things all the time. Then over the top of this, I'll be wearing Sitka Core Lightweight Hoodie. I found that in most weather, if I'm hiking around, I really don't need much more than this in a t-shirt. I usually get really hot hiking. So, but this thing is, if you don't have one of these, I don't care who you're sponsored by or who your favorite brand is. These things are the bee's knees. It's got the little hoodie, got the little pocket. You know, it's Core Lightweight Hoodie. I know they have a merino one too that works really good. Yeah, I like the synthetic because it wicks a little bit better. So, and it doesn't stink. I know some synthetic things that I got start really smelling bad, but whatever Barklow did with these, they don't stink. So I wear this thing all the time. I've got a couple other ones. I know my buddy Rob he just wears them around town because he's got all the solid colors too. But yeah, these are a great piece of gear. I'd wear this 365 days a year if I had enough of them. For pants, I've gotten to really like these First Light Corrugate Foundry pants. These things are awesome. like I said, it's going to be 100 degrees today while we're biking up in there. These things have these zips on the side, nice big old vents. And I'll probably be running these vents wide open for most of the time. And then it's going to be in the 30s, so it'll be really nice to be able to zip these back up when we're glassing. Yeah, and it's got the knee pad holes in the knees, which I'll probably throw in there. Big fan of suspenders. Usually wear a belt, but the suspenders, especially when you're riding a bike and stuff like that, like we're going to be doing, having that extra pressure off your midsection is really nice. And when you're hiking around with a tight pack. So, yeah, big fan of these. Gonna wear them year round. If it was gonna be really hot, I'd wear my Outdoor Research Feroci pants. They're super light, and they'll still keep you warm at night. But if it's gonna be in the 30s over the weekend, I'm probably gonna want that over glassing. Next, I'll be packing some merino top and bottoms. I've had these for years. I use them skiing and snowboarding. I think they're Smart Wool. I don't know. I've had them so long, my grandma got them for me. But they're super light, and they keep you really warm. Usually when I'm snowboarding and that, I'll just wear this and a shell. So if it gets really, really cold, I can throw these on. And I'll just be in my pack. For mid-layer insulation, big fan of Under Armour hoodies. This is actually my track jacket from freshman year of high school. I liked it so much I got one in camo, which is in the wash right now. But yeah, I'll be wearing this. If it's a really chilly morning, you just throw this on since I'm not bringing a puffy jacket. It keeps you nice and toasty. For rain gear, I've got a Sitka flash pullover. They don't make these anymore. I had to go somewhere to find it, but it packs down super light, and I've got it, keeps the rain off you. I've been in some really heavy stuff, and it still keeps all the water and wetness off of you. It's not going to be as good as one of your dew points or something like that, but I found that I haven't ever needed it because I'm not hunting in Alaska or something like that. But yeah, it's got the hood, it's got the little drawstring in the back. I wish they still made these because these things are sweet. I'd have one in like an OD green if they could. But super light. All right, moving on to boots. Got some Crispy Summit Gore-Tex boots. Actually just got these resold because I wore them out last year. and yeah, these are the boots I've been running for the past 2 years. These things are awesome. Been in some really cold weather. They're not insulated, so I can wear them when it's really hot. They still keep my feet nice and warm when it's cold, especially depending on what socks I'm wearing. Speaking of socks I'm going to be running are these Kinetrek midweights. They have nice, good cushioned heel and toe boxes, so I'll probably wear these in, and then always have an extra pair of socks, which are just some regular old wool boot socks that are a little bit thinner, so my feet sweat a lot. So definitely need 2 pair of socks. And for drawers, I've been wearing Reeboks for years. Got these when I went off to training, and I've never looked back since. Yeah, these have been used a lot. They're clean, I promise. But yeah, I'll just wear 1 pair of these and tough it out for a week. It ain't nothing but a thing. And of course, you got your just regular old beanie in case it's cold in the morning. And I've got some First Light Talus fingerless gloves if it's really, really cold. If it gets so cold that I can't have my hands out, then it's like, just put them in my pockets, Don't need to have anything crazy for this hunt. It's probably going to get hot again at the end of it. So that's what we're running with there. On to optics. So as you can see right here, I got a Vortex Diamondback HD 20-60 by 85. It's not crazy expensive. I don't have crazy expensive money, but this thing does the job. Spots elk where I need them. Some days I wish I would have got a 65 because it's a little bit lighter, but this thing will does just really well. I mainly got it for antelope hunting, but the unit we're going to be doing a lot of glassing as opposed to calling because there's a lot of open areas. So yeah, definitely will be using that. And then the tripod I got on is a Surui ST124 with a VA5 head. This VA5 head is amazing. We were looking at Saturn and Jupiter the other night through the spotting scope with this thing on it, and it's so fine. You can do the combo with the head, or you can do just the legs or just the head too. So unscrewable, waterproof, goes down real quick, neat. It's got these little spikes that unscrew on the bottom, so when you're sticking in some rocky terrain, you can just unscrew them and it'll work real good. For binos, always wear binos no matter what, when I'm archery hunting or not. I do a lot of spot and stock, so I'm always glassing. Got a marsupial medium pouch for my 10x42 Vipers, Viper HDs. These things are the bee's knees. Start out with some Diamondbacks, then splurged and got a little bit nicer pair. I love these things. These are always in my truck. I'm always using them. I've just got the basic bino adapter on there from Vortex. This is a little arc plate, clips in, just slides right on there. If you have never used binoculars with your tripod, you should start because the thing is awesome. Wind checker, always need that. I always need to know where the wind's going. Although lately it's been so dang windy, if you don't know which way the wind's blowing, then something wrong with you, because usually it tries to blow you off the hill. For rangefinder, I've got a Vortex Ranger 1800. Just I think it's a Caribou Gear bungee retainer on there with the marsupial rangefinder pouch. This thing's awesome. I think I've probably changed the battery because I don't remember the last time I did. Yeah, this was great for probably the best all around. It does great for archery, close range, and then also those longer ranges out to like a mile or so. I know some people like shooting the Ranger 4000, but I don't have that kind of cash, so got to do within your means, right? Back to the harness a little bit. This one's like new. I just got it from a friend. This one has the padded straps. The one I was using was just the regular one. But I was like, yeah, I'll give the padded straps a try this year. So, and up front is where I keep all my calls, and then also like phone adapter for GoPro SD cards and trail cam SD cards, and then extra keys for the locks for those. Keep those. So really, really important stuff. I'm always wearing this. So doing e-tags this year. Otherwise, I'd keep the e-tags in the back. Or sorry, the paper tags would be back here in a plastic bag. So yeah, that's about it for my bino harness. I will have a can of bear spray hooked onto the side or to the bottom. Haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet. Probably should because we're leaving this afternoon. But had a lot of other stuff going on. House is currently in a shambles because I'm packing to move as well. So, all right, and so in terms of just gear, we've got just got a Black Diamond trekking pole. I had two, but I broke it last year, and haven't had ponied up the money to buy a new one. Probably get those Peaks sissy sticks. This one works really good, especially when you're archery hunting. Carrying your bow in one hand anyways, so. But yeah, this thing's great, extends. And this one works real good. You can tell it's hard to pull out because it's bent a little bit on the bottom and dirt's falling everywhere. But yeah, I've been using these Black Diamonds for a while, and yeah, broke the other one when I fell down behind a log last year. So you taking that as a single, For glassing, I've just got a cut foam pad. You can extend it out. I've actually slept on this. It's like 1/2 inch thick, or you can bunch it up, get it a little bit thicker. Just strap that to the back of the pack. Works really good. Yeah, just using what I got. Nice and easy and stuff. Got this Leatherman multi-tool that I've had for a whole bunch of years. I take this thing everywhere with me. I actually cleaned my first few deer with it. It's got a gut hook, a saw. Yeah, this thing is pretty awesome. Got the nippers, plus screwdrivers, all sorts of stuff. Just a Leatherman OHT. Got this issued to me back in the day. So, awesome piece of gear. Game bags. I've just got these Caribou Gear Muley. Meat on the bone. You can bone out an elk and it'll fit in these just fine. This things weigh about 1 pound with this sack. I just keep it all together because it makes it easy. Used some Argali ones last year. Liked those a whole bunch. But I accidentally packed those away already in my stuff, and I'm not going through all my boxes to try and find them. So using these, which for my backup, they work just great. Packed out, put multiple deer with them. Kill kit, got some fire starter. It's just Vaseline cotton balls and a dip can pouch. For knives, got the Randy Newberg EBS. This thing has cleaned a ton of animals. It's got all the extra blades back here. Just gotten them all sharpened, so they're ready to go. Before I got them sharpened, I had cleaned 6 deer, 2 elk with them. And they're still, you could tell they were getting dull, but they were still working. So, awesome stuff there. Got some storm-proof, waterproof matches. These things are awesome. Just left over from like the Cub Scouts or something. I don't know. Got just a lighter and with some Luco tape wrapped around it. I've got 2 of these. Another one's going to be somewhere in my pack where I can access it quickly. Because you always get blisters no matter how broken in your boots are, and mine are very broken in. Gloves, because there's nothing worse than wiping your face with bloody hands. So I've got 2 pairs of gloves in here, just regular black nitrile latex gloves. Bunch of 550 cord for hanging stuff. Once we got all the meat deboned or packed and hung in trees, we'll usually use this to hang it up. Yep, and we got some extra bad AAAs in here for my headlamp. Got AAAs coming out the wazoo, so never gonna run out of batteries. For headlamps, got 2 Petzl Tika headlamps. They've got the red light, and then the 3 setting headlamp, and then I think it has like an SOS mode, or like flashes or something. Yep, there it goes. So got that. Got 2 of these, and they run on AAAs. I usually like these Energizer lithiums. They last a long time. So use those. Moving on to first aid kit. Pretty basic with some little extras. EpiPen, never know what you're allergic to, what you might run into. More batteries. Tegaderm, super great stuff. If you get a really bad cut, you can throw down that gauze on there and then cover it with this Tegaderm, and it'll stick to you for a long time. I had a really bad gash after a fall in training one time, and medic threw a patch of this on me, just right over the top of some Neosporin, and didn't get an infection or nothing. Like, it was on my back, right in the middle of the back. We were carrying rucks, and yeah, this thing lasted an entire week without falling off. Pretty impressed. So got some of that in here. Bug bite stuff, got multiples of that. Snake bite kit. There is a lot of rattlesnakes where we're going. Ibuprofen, boo-boo, Band-Aids, tweezers. Benadryl, stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty basic kit. You can just go out and buy it. I originally had just bought this first aid pouch, but I've replaced everything in it so far. I just keep the pouch around because it works real good. And it's a 1 or 2 person kit. Whoever you're going with, make sure they have one too, so that you can use their stuff in case they hurt themselves. We got a cat tourniquet because we do have really sharp broadheads, but that's with my buddy attached to his stuff. So you can also use a belt. Quick clot, mine expired, so I don't have any in here right now. I'll probably grab some before we leave. Yeah, gotta have your first aid kit when you go. Bear spray, counter assault, just attach it to your bino harness. Then for, we'll get to that. For electronics, I've got one of these ChargeWorks 20,000 milliamp. I don't know how many charges it'll get in your iPhone, but when you're running airplane mode, this thing will last a long time. So it'll be able to charge the camera, charge the mics, plus the phone when we need it. We got GoPro 10, which we're filming on right now, 3 extra batteries, extra memory cards, cords, charging stations, and I'm also using these DJI wireless microphones so that we'll be able to capture all of the audio, most hopefully. Then just a bag that I'll have in there with like phone charging cords and stuff. So, yep, that's pretty simple. I wish I actually took my big camera down to Florida so the wife could use it. So, and it's still there. So we're just running one camera, plus we use our phones. Just an iPhone with phone scope attachment, so it attaches here. Yeah, we filmed some stuff last year with just your iPhone, which don't need anything crazy. As you can see, I just got a GoPro and a phone, and that's what we'll film this hunt with. It'll work fine. So for archery stuff, well, I've got just a Allen key that'll go to all my stuff on my bow, just in case you need to troubleshoot something. Wet wipes. I love wet wipes. Some people hate them for some reason. So you get the big ones. They have those dude wipes. Those things are like freaking huge. These are just Costco wipes. But I use wet wipes. That's just my preference. Someone come fight me on using wet wipes versus toilet paper. I don't care. For calls, I got a Phelps Easy Sucker. This is brand new for this year. Sounds really cool, but instead of blowing, you like suck in, so you can really control that nice little cow mew. Like, so super easy to use. Sounds really good. But I also have my diaphragms. I'm running Phelps Maverick this year, which I think is the Dirk Durham, and then also I've got the Amp Black. So this one's a little bit hardier bull sounds, and this one's like more of a raghorn kind of thing. I kind of like using the raghorn ones, and then for cows and stuff too, because I want the bull to be like, oh, I can definitely beat him up when I call him. So hey, they work really good. And I got a couple of these that I'll be having in my pack. Then, well, trusty Rocky Mountain hunting calls bugle. You can see it's been worn. Probably should get a new one or like replace this thing on the end. It's pretty sun rotted just from how much use it's gotten. So, but it still works. I'm gonna keep using it. For a water system, I'm gonna be taking a Nalgene bottle. Always gotta have that. We'll start out empty. We're using a SteriPen, so like one of those UV SteriPens that you can just swirl around in there. And then also we've taken aqua tabs, which the aqua tabs are somewhere that I need to find. Rob has the SteriPen. which we'll take. And then also, I like using a bladder, especially now because it's not going to freeze. Just a big Platypus Big Zip Evo. Been using this for a whole bunch of years. It's been washed, but it has so much use on it. It just looks all faded and stuff. And then also for storing extra water, I have this Platypus 2 liter, which has water in it right now because I was using it. But yeah, well, where we're going has quite a few streams, so I'm not too worried about water. But if we go hike up and camp somewhere, spike out way above, we won't have enough so we can eat, make our food and whatnot. For cook system, I've got a Jetboil flash, brand new canister. This should last us 5 days, no problem. Like 2 or 3 boils a day, that'll be fine. Yeah, some people think they're too heavy. I think they work just fine, especially for where we're going, and it's not going to be too terribly cold. If it was really cold, I'd probably take a liquid stove, like an old Coleman or something, but this one will work good, or at least extra gas. Rob's taking an MSR pocket rocket and a big tank of gas. So we'll have 2 stoves. I like this one because it just cooks faster, and we'll just leave it in base camp during the day. For spork, we've got just a Sea to Summit titanium fork spork. Really dip down in those Peak Mountain House gastronomes. Work real good. This one still has a little bit of schmutz on it. Self-explanatory, super light, works good. Coffee mug / oatmeal mug, just a GSI outdoors plastic. I want to get a titanium one, but this one still has coffee in it from yesterday. Just so I can use it over a little stove, but this one works fine for what I need it to, and has a little bit of insulation on it, so it works good. I take this with me to work when I'm doing stuff, which is why it has coffee in it right now, because it's nice and light and I can just throw it in my bag. So this is the bag of food. It weighs just under 2 pounds per day, so we'll take 4 of these bags in with us. I move all this stuff to lay it out. So for breakfast, just homemade oatmeal. I use Adam Foss's recipe. This is backcountry oatmeal stuff. It's got nuts, protein powder, honey, coconut oil, and then I'll also throw one of these Justin's little almond nut butters in there with it. Then it's got dried fruit, either raisins or cherries is what I like, chia seeds. But yeah, look up Adam. I'll throw it up on the screen now. Adam Foss's recipe. It's on Sitka's website, and it works really good. So that's breakfast, plus Black Rifle coffee instant 2. Fill up that mug. I'll drink it hot, cold, I don't care. Just need a little bit of pick-me-up in the mornings. Then I take these liquid IVs. If you haven't tried these things are the bee's knees. They you start feeling cramping up and stuff, you can either shoot this, you can throw it in your Nalgene. I wouldn't throw it in your hydration system because it's really hard to get that taste out, but that's why I keep the Nalgene around, so I can throw this drink powder in there. For lunch, don't have anything too crazy. I've got a bag of dried fruit. I think there's mangoes, cherries, and then plantain chips in here. Got one of these Pro Bar meal bars. They taste really good. This one's banana nut bread. I had to get a variety of them for different days, so you use that. For a snack, I got just the Mountain Ops bar. Things are awesome. Notes written on there from Grandma. She sent me a couple boxes of it because she knows I like them. But yeah, as old Corey Jacobson says, 20 grams of protein and 0 grams of sugar. That's 270 calories. So I like the Frosted Cinnamon Swirl, which is their new one, because they ran out of caramel. So the caramel flavor that they had, they couldn't get any caramel, so they come up with a new flavor. But I think I like this one better than the caramel one anyways. I packed 2 honey stinger waffles. Usually just change it up. with the flavors. This one's honey and this one's a salted caramel. Afternoon pick me up. I've got another one of these Justin's almond butter, which I can throw on one of these honey stingers, or on a bar or whatever. Just eat it straight. Just a little bit of extra energy from that nice fat. We got a Mountain Ops Ignite for afternoons. You can throw it in that little, either in your Nalgene or in your coffee mug. Citrus Bliss, trying that flavor out for the first time. Then just some trail mix. This one's Tex-Mex flavored. Really good. Just some salted stuff because most of this is sweeter. Sometimes you just need that saltiness to it. Then for dinners, this one's a Gastronome sausage rigatone. Rigatoni? Yeah. These things are super tasty, and they're made from all natural ingredients. They source all their meals from local farmers and ranchers and stuff. I know they have a buffalo one that they're coming out with. Yeah, but 850 calories on this one. I use all this to track. How I track all my stuff, I write it all out on a big spreadsheet. So that's 1 day's worth of food. It should be enough. It comes out to right about 4,000 calories. I eat a lot because I sweat a lot and I get really hot while I'm hiking. So that's food-wise. All right, so for my weapon, I've got a Bowtech Realm SR6. I've got a 29-inch draw length. I've got custom strings on here. They're made by my local bow shop, North 40. Shout out to you, Connor, Nick, and Justin. They made these strings for me. I've got a black gold Ascent sight, 3-pin. So I got 20, 30, 40, and then I can roll all the way to 120. Not going to be shooting that far at all. Hoping to get one within 40. So, and then the bottom pin, I replaced it with a smaller 010 sight. So use that a lot at TAC, which was neat. Yep. Then I got a Bee Stinger 10-inch Sport Hunter front stabilizer. I think you got 3 ounces of weight on the end. I don't run a back bar, so I don't think I need the extra weight. And feel like it gets stable enough. I got a QAD Hunter Ultra Rest. Works really good. I like the flip ups so I can have that better retention. Some people like that whale tail where it comes up, draws automatically. This one will do that, but I like being able to lock in my arrow when I put it in there. Yeah, that's my bow. Pretty simple. Comes out to like 6 pounds. Less than 6 pounds actually. It's like 5.5, which is nice. So yeah, we'll strap to the pack, carried around. Then I've got a Trophy Ridge, just a basic old 5-arrow quiver. These still have my field points on there because my broadheads are super sharp after I stropped them. But I'm running a Victory V-Force 245, so full-size arrows. I just really like how these ones fly. I've tried the micros, I've tried the 204s, the 5mm, and the 4. It's like, but I always keep coming back to these. So V-Force Gamer 300s, Spinal Line, they've all been nock-tuned, bare shafted, all that fun stuff. Up front, I got 125 grain point with 66 grain insert. That's custom. It's just the stock insert with some extra added weight to it. Yeah, I think total arrow weight comes out to 498. So a little on the heavier side, and they're tuned and they fly really nice. I've got the AAE Max Hunter vanes with the little Go Hunt strip on there because I could get more of them, and I like the orange color. And then they're not on these ones, but I'm going to be running. Here's one of my test rod heads actually. So on here I've got the Luminoc knock. I think it's green color, and then up front got a Magnus Stinger buzz cut, and those are the broadheads I'll be running. This one's all chewed up because this is my target one, but and because I would not be doing this, touching it. Yeah, you should always sharpen your broadheads after you get them, even some of the brand new ones. These magnets come in super sharp already, but I still run them on the leather strop to really get them, and they'll shave the, you touch them and you're cutting yourself. So yeah, 125 grain on these. And I'll also be packing around in my quiver on these Slick Trick Viper Tricks 125s that I would also have strapped. This is a test one, which is why I'm touching it. That'll be for if I have to take a follow-up shot at really long range being 50 or farther. These fly just like field points, and they're still fixed blades, which I like. I'm not a big fan of expandables. I've seen too many times where they don't perform like you want them to. So personal preference, some people use them, some people don't, is what it is. But like I said, if you're gonna use fixed blades, you gotta make sure you Noctune bare shaft so your arrow's coming off dead straight, so you don't have any of that extra wiggle. So in conjunction with these 5 arrows, I also have 3 extra arrows in my pack for grouse and stuff, which I'll be using just some judo points. Just screw these on, super easy. I'll keep a couple packs of these in my pack. Just screw them on the end and doink a grouse. And then for my release, I use a TrueFire Max Edge. I like the wrist rockets because I can just flip them up and tuck them in and not have to worry about it. Then trying to lose the hand or like a hinge or a button or something release. So I still like these. I've got one of those Spot Hog button releases. What is it? Slick Willy or something? Let's see. Oh, got a Spot Hog Whippersnapper button release, but I've found I don't know. I didn't get this till later in the season, till after tack. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick with the wrist rocket this year. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions or anything, throw them down in the comments. Appreciate everyone watching, and good luck this season. Hope you do well.